The book is called Jane Austen, A Life in Small Things, because each chapter takes a real life object from Jane Austen's life or the world evoked by her novels and uses that object to evoke the inner life. So rather than a conventional biography that has a chronological line of womb to tomb narrative, this is slightly more experimental. It's a more experimental approach which focuses on small things that evoke large emotions. For me, what's fresh and new about my biography is that I don't present her as this rather demure, quite coy spinster writing really to amuse her family in Chawton Cottage. I see her as a traveller, somebody who loved travelling, loved the sea, but most of all wanted to be a professional woman writer. It just visually encapsulated all those thoughts that I'd had about her, because it presents Jane Austen as a very serious intellectual, as a woman who wants to be perceived as a writer. She's sitting at a little round desk. We're here in Chawton Cottage today, where the desk is, and we see her in the act of writing. So she's writing a sentence of prose. There are two pens on the table. There's a church in the background. And we just don't have anything like that. We don't have a portrait of Jane Austen that presents her as a writer. Jane Austen's aunt stole a cord of lace from a shop in Bath and was sent to prison. And Jane Austen's mother wrote to the aunt and said, would you like me to send Jane and Cassandra to prison with you and sit with you while you're awaiting your trial? Extraordinary thought, Jane Austen in prison, and she said, no, of course not. But I used the cord of lace to write about the shoplifting scandal, but also shopping in Bath, the Bath years, what it was like for her to be in Bath. One of the chapters is called The Topaz Crosses. Here at Chawton, we can see the topaz crosses that Charles Austen bought for Jane and his sister. He was incredibly courageous and brave. He captured a ship with 400 men and he was given his prize money, and he bought his sister a cross. Jane Austen uses the cross in Mansfield Park when her beloved naval brother, William Price, buys Fanny a topaz cross. So it's a lovely way of acknowledging the real cross that she had. I do hope people enjoy reading the book as much as I've enjoyed writing the book, and I do hope what comes across is the sense of a woman engaged with the social, political, historical context of her time. It's a revisionary reading of her that takes her away from the cosy Aunt Jane to a professional woman writer who is much more engaged in her world than we might have assumed.